What if I told you that African ancestry isn't just a historical tale? It's a story deeply tied to the Bible? A legacy that starts with Noah and his sons, shaping ancient civilizations like Egypt and Ethiopia, and challenging misconceptions that have divided us for centuries. Today we'll explore the untold story of Ham and his descendants. Through the lens of biblical history, we'll uncover the origins of the black race, revealing a heritage of innovation, resilience, and cultural richness. After the Great Flood, the world started over. Humanity's roots trace back to Noah's three sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Ham's name, meaning burned or dark, connects him to Africa and nearby regions. But his story isn't just about origins. It's a tale of brilliance and endurance. From the towering pyramids of Egypt to Ethiopia's vibrant history, Ham's lineage laid the foundation for civilizations that changed the world. Sadly, Ham's story has been overshadowed by distortion. For centuries, the so-called curse of Ham was twisted to justify oppression, even fueling horrors like the transatlantic slave trade. But let's set the record straight. The Bible never cursed Ham. This false narrative caused immense harm, obscuring a legacy of greatness and diversity. What does the Bible really say about Ham and his descendants? How did they shape the ancient world, and what can we learn from their story today? These are the questions we'll explore. A journey through history that reminds us of our shared humanity and the beauty of diversity. Before diving in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us uncover stories that educate, inspire, and challenge us to see the world differently. Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. After the flood, the world was wiped clean, a blank slate for humanity to start again. From the ark stepped Noah and his three sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, the forefathers of all nations. Each son's lineage spread across regions, but today we're focusing on Ham. His name, meaning burned or dark, ties him to Africa and its neighboring lands, making him a central figure in the origins of the black race. Ham's story begins with his four sons, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Each of these names carries a legacy, resonating through the ages and tied to some of the most remarkable civilizations in human history. Let's start with Cush, often associated with ancient Ethiopia and Nubia. These regions, celebrated for their cultural richness and strategic importance, became the cradle of the Kushite kingdom. This kingdom was not just a land of warriors but a beacon of intellect and trade. According to the Bible, Cush's descendants include Nimrod, a mighty leader who established iconic cities like Babylon and Nineveh. These cities became symbols of ingenuity and strength, highlighting the resilience of Ham's lineage. The fertile lands of Cush provided not only sustenance but also a foundation for thriving trade networks that connected Africa to Asia and the Middle East. The Kushite kingdom reached its zenith as rulers from this lineage rose to power in Egypt, forming the 25th dynasty. Often referred to as the Black Pharaohs, these leaders unified Nubian and Egyptian traditions, creating a unique cultural blend. The pyramids of Meroe, although smaller in scale than those in Egypt, were far more numerous and embodied a distinct architectural style. These towering monuments, along with advanced craftsmanship and vibrant cultural achievements, underscored the advanced society Cush represented. Next, we turn to Mizraim, synonymous with ancient Egypt. A civilization whose name still commands awe. The Nile's steady rhythm sustained a society that became a beacon of architectural, scientific, and artistic innovation. Mizraim's descendants brought the world wonders like the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx, testaments to their vision and technical expertise. But Egypt's contributions went beyond the monumental. Papyrus, a revolutionary writing material, laid the groundwork for recording knowledge, while their advancements in medicine, astronomy, and mathematics set standards that shaped future civilizations. Mizraim's people weren't only architects but pioneers of governance and culture. The sprawling temples of Karnak and Luxor were not just places of worship. They were centers of learning and diplomacy, embodying the sophistication of this civilization. The Egyptians' ability to harness the flooding of the Nile for agriculture transformed their land into a breadbasket, ensuring prosperity for generations. To the west, Put's lineage shaped the history of North Africa, particularly Libya. This region, often overlooked in ancient narratives, was pivotal for maritime trade. The coastal cities established by Put's descendants became bustling hubs, connecting the Mediterranean with Africa's rich interior. These traders were more than merchants. They were cultural ambassadors, blending styles and traditions from Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. Their expertise in shipbuilding and navigation not only boosted commerce but also fostered the exchange of ideas that enriched civilizations far and wide. Finally, we come to Canaan, whose story is perhaps the most misunderstood. While the Bible recounts a curse placed on Canaan, it's critical to recognize that this narrative has been distorted over time. Canaan's descendants built cities of immense cultural and economic significance, such as Tyre and Sidon. These urban centers thrived as trade hubs, connecting Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean. Among the Canaanites were the Phoenicians, who revolutionized communication by creating one of the earliest alphabets. This innovation laid the foundation for written language as we know it today, underscoring their lasting influence. The artistic and architectural achievements of Canaan's descendants are equally remarkable. From intricate pottery to advanced agricultural techniques, their contributions reveal a society deeply connected to the natural world and profoundly innovative. Despite historical misinterpretations, the legacy of Canaan is one of resilience and creativity. Across all these lineages, Ham's descendants shared a common thread: the ability to thrive and innovate. They weren't just survivors of the flood. They were architects of human progress. Whether it was Cush's towering pyramids, Mizraim's medical texts, Put's maritime innovations, or Canaan's revolutionary alphabet, their stories remind us of humanity's collective potential. Ham's lineage is not only a celebration of the past but also a powerful lesson in resilience, diversity, and shared heritage. One of the most harmful distortions of biblical history is the so-called curse of Ham. Let's clear this up. The Bible doesn't curse Ham. Instead, it describes a specific incident involving his son, Canaan. The curse was directed at Canaan's lineage, not Ham himself or his other descendants. Yet, for centuries, this misinterpretation has been weaponized to justify systemic oppression, including the transatlantic slave trade. The roots of this distortion lie in how sacred texts have been misused. During the transatlantic slave trade, proponents of slavery twisted the narrative, falsely claiming that the Bible condemned all of Ham's descendants to servitude. This narrative was strategically deployed to dehumanize African populations, undermining their rich legacy and reducing their contributions to history. However, this interpretation directly contradicts the Bible's own account and its emphasis on justice, equality, and human dignity. The so-called curse has caused immense harm, fueling ideologies that divided humanity rather than uniting it. By perpetuating a narrative of inferiority, this distortion erased the achievements of Ham's descendants, replacing them with a false narrative of subjugation. The consequences of this misuse echo across history, from colonial justifications to the systemic racism still evident today. Yet, the resilience of Ham's legacy tells a different story. Despite centuries of misrepresentation, the contributions of his descendants endure. Civilizations like Cush, Egypt, and Canaan have been celebrated for their advancements in governance, architecture, and trade. Their innovations in writing, navigation, and engineering remind us of the rich heritage obscured by harmful myths. Modern science and archaeology have further debunked these false narratives. Genetic studies tracing the migration patterns of Ham's descendants affirm their influence across continents, aligning with biblical accounts. These findings confirm what history has always shown. Ham's lineage is not a tale of oppression but a testament to human creativity and resilience. The misuse of the curse of Ham serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of distorting sacred texts. It underscores the responsibility we bear to approach these narratives with care and integrity, ensuring they promote understanding and unity rather than division. By reclaiming the truth, we honor the legacy of Ham's descendants and the enduring strength of their contributions. The descendants of Ham left an indelible mark on history, shaping civilizations that continue to influence the modern world. Among them, the lineages of Cush and Mizraim stand out for their extraordinary contributions to culture, governance, and innovation. Let's begin with Cush, a name synonymous with ancient Ethiopia and Nubia. The Kushite kingdom emerged as a beacon of resilience and progress, thriving in what is now modern-day Sudan. Its wealth, particularly gold, became the backbone of a robust trade network, linking Africa to Asia and the Mediterranean. Cush was more than a kingdom of warriors. It was a hub of intellect and culture. Nimrod, a descendant of Cush mentioned in the Bible, exemplified this legacy as a city builder and leader who established Babylon and Nineveh. The Kushite rulers, often referred to as the Black Pharaohs, commanded both Nubia and Egypt during the 25th dynasty. They unified these regions, blending traditions into a powerful empire that celebrated both Nubian and Egyptian heritage. The pyramids of Meroe stand as enduring symbols of Kushite ingenuity. While smaller than Egypt's iconic pyramids, they were far more numerous and showcased unique architectural styles. These structures, alongside advanced metallurgy and art, underscore Kush's significant role in shaping ancient Africa. Beyond architecture, Kushite society excelled in diplomacy, governance, and trade. They developed vast networks that connected the riches of Africa, gold, ivory, and incense, with the demands of the ancient world. Their influence extended far beyond their borders, leaving a legacy of collaboration and cultural exchange. Turning to Mizraim, we find ourselves in the heart of ancient Egypt, one of the most celebrated civilizations in history. Egypt's grandeur is epitomized by its monumental architecture. The Great Pyramids, the Sphinx, and sprawling temples like Karnak and Luxor. These achievements weren't merely displays of power, they were testaments to an advanced understanding of engineering, mathematics, and resource management. The Nile River was the lifeblood of Egypt, enabling agricultural practices that sustained large populations and supported a thriving economy. Mizraim's descendants harnessed the seasonal flooding of the Nile, creating irrigation systems that transformed arid lands into fertile fields. This agricultural prowess allowed Egypt to become a breadbasket for the ancient world. Egypt's contributions extended far beyond its borders. Advances in medicine, such as surgical techniques and herbal remedies, influenced neighboring regions. The invention of papyrus revolutionized communication, enabling the documentation of knowledge that would shape future generations. The intellectual brilliance of Mizraim's descendants laid the foundation for achievements in astronomy, literature, and governance that continue to inspire awe today. Moving west, we find Put, whose lineage is closely tied to North Africa, particularly Libya and its coastal regions. While often overshadowed by other ancient civilizations, Put's descendants were pivotal in shaping the Mediterranean world through maritime trade and cultural exchange. These coastal regions became bustling centers of commerce, where goods like gold, ivory, and spices flowed from Africa to Mediterranean markets. Put's people were innovators in navigation and shipbuilding, establishing trade routes that connected diverse cultures. They were more than traders, they were cultural ambassadors, blending African, Middle Eastern, and European influences. Archaeological discoveries reveal intricate tools, pottery, and maritime artifacts that showcase their craftsmanship and adaptability. Their legacy in connecting regions through trade enriched the ancient world, creating networks that exchanged not just goods but also ideas and traditions. Beyond trade, the descendants of Put contributed to art and technology. Libyan artisans created tools and ornaments that reflected a unique fusion of styles, combining local materials with techniques borrowed from distant lands. This adaptability allowed them to thrive in a region often shaped by external influences, cementing their role as a bridge between Africa and the Mediterranean. Finally, we come to Canaan, whose story has been deeply misunderstood and often misrepresented. The biblical narrative describes a curse on Canaan, but this has no bearing on the achievements of his descendants, who were innovators and builders of extraordinary civilizations. Canaanite cities like Tyre and Sidon became centers of commerce and creativity, thriving on trade and maritime prowess. Among Canaan's most influential descendants were the Phoenicians, renowned for their seafaring skills and their invention of one of the earliest alphabets. This alphabet revolutionized communication, laying the groundwork for written language as we know it today. The Phoenicians' influence spread across the Mediterranean, connecting cultures and fostering collaboration. Their ships carried goods, ideas, and technologies, creating a legacy of cultural exchange that resonated far beyond their time. Canaan's people were also master artisans, creating intricate pottery, textiles, and metalwork. These crafts, often traded across the ancient world, reflect a society deeply attuned to beauty and functionality. Despite being surrounded by powerful empires, the Canaanites held their own, influencing their neighbors with their innovations in agriculture, architecture, and trade. The legacy of Put and Canaan reminds us of the incredible diversity and resilience of Ham's descendants. From Libya's bustling trade routes to the Phoenician alphabets that transformed human communication, their contributions continue to shape our understanding of ancient history. Together, they represent the spirit of innovation and adaptability that defined Ham's lineage. The story of Ham's descendants is more than just history. It's a testament to the resilience, creativity, and brilliance of humanity. From the Kushite pyramids of Meroe to the groundbreaking alphabets of the Phoenicians, their achievements shaped the foundation of civilizations and continue to inspire us today. Yet, for centuries, their legacy has been overshadowed by distortion and misrepresentation. The so-called Curse of Ham is one such distortion. A narrative weaponized to justify systemic oppression, it sought to erase the contributions of Ham's lineage and replace them with a false narrative of inferiority. But as history and science show us, this couldn't be further from the truth. Ham's descendants were builders, innovators, and leaders who left an indelible mark on the world. Modern archaeology and genetics continue to uncover the richness of their legacy. The migration patterns of Ham's descendants reveal a history of resilience and adaptation, spreading their influence across continents. From Africa's golden trade routes to the monumental achievements of Egypt and Kush, their story is one of collaboration, innovation, and cultural exchange. What can we learn from their story today? First, that diversity is our strength. Ham's lineage reminds us that humanity thrives when we embrace our differences, learn from one another, and work together. Second, it's a call to critically examine the narratives we accept and perpetuate. Misinterpretations like the Curse of Ham show the dangers of distorting history to serve unjust agendas. Finally, their story challenges us to honor truth. By reclaiming the legacy of Ham's descendants, we not only restore their rightful place in history but also affirm the values of justice, equality, and understanding that unite us all. As we reflect on this journey, let's ask ourselves, how can we ensure that history is remembered accurately? How can we celebrate cultural diversity while fostering unity? And most importantly, how can we build a future rooted in truth and respect for all? The achievements of Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan are not just chapters in ancient history. They're part of the ongoing story of humanity. Their resilience and creativity remind us of our shared heritage and the power of collaboration. By understanding their legacy, we can better appreciate the incredible tapestry of cultures that make up our world. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Ham's descendants. Their story is a reminder that the past isn't just something to study. It's a guide for how we can move forward. Let's carry these lessons with us as we strive to build a world that honors truth, celebrates diversity, and embraces the beauty of our shared humanity. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue uncovering stories that educate, inspire, and challenge us to see the world in new ways. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what resonated with you and how you see Ham's legacy influencing the world today.